hang on a second. Right. Yeah, we're live. Okay, I've just streamed about a sewing machine live, and I've got to say somebody asked a question, and I'm really sorry that I ended that just as I noticed your question. I'm really sorry about this, and I really apologise because if I'd have seen that, I would have answered it. You know, what I think. So I've got to say I really apologise for that, and I hope that this person comes back on. Now, when I read it, it was something to do with the sequence of how they were going to make a three-piece suit, and they were wondering, and then a necktie as well, I think, and they were wondering which is the best way to go about creating this three-piece suit. You know, which is the best way to do this? Do they go with the tie first, as I remember the question, or do they make the three-piece suit first? How would I do that? So, like I say, I really apologise. I just said, you know, thanks guys for watching, and I did a quick stream about, you know, which sewing machine to use. And I just went, and they went, OMG, it's ended. So I'm really sorry about that. Whoever that was, please ask the question again, and I will answer this for you. I really will. So what can I say? I'm sorry about that. Really am. So I'm back. I'm live, and I'm here. And I'll answer any questions that you lovely people are going to put in the chat. Now, I've got one here. I'm hoping this is the same person. Now, I'm really sorry. I cannot pronounce your name. But hi there, nonetheless. Thanks for coming back. I'm hoping this is the same person that asked me this question. And I will answer this for you. Oh, Philippe. Hello, Philippe, and welcome to this live stream. I'm glad that you're here. Hi there, nice to meet you too. It's great. Now, as you can probably see, Philippe, there's a lot of gaming stuff behind me. Now, this is obviously nothing to do with sewing. This is what I do in my free time when I'm not working on the business and that sort of thing. So this is obviously nothing to do with sewing, because it's my other passion, gaming. So, but I love sewing. That's always number one. Okay, so yes, I'm planning to learn sewing tie, shirt, pants, three-piece, coat, raincoat. I'm interested in hand sewing. Well, that's brilliant. That is how I started, hand sewing. That is exactly how I started, and I was hand stitching for months before I got a sewing machine. I mean, months, and I got really quick at it and really good at it. Now, of course, you can't. I'm an ICT engineer, private consulting. Brilliant. That sounds very interesting. Very impressive as well, I've got to say. Yeah, hand stitching is it's something which is like a must to start with, because what it does is it gets you familiar with the feel of the fabrics, and it's a very therapeutic way of sewing. But of course, it does take a lot longer to sew by hand. Now, I was stitching by hand, and I made you know 7 or 8 suits completely by hand, and it really gave me the insight of how to create you know, garments. Now this is decades ago now, and then of course I got my first sewing machine, and the difference was with the sewing machine by hand was unbelievable, because you could do everything so quick, and of course, you know, when you've got When you are stitching by hand, you can never ever get that stitch quality that you would get with a machine, because with a machine, every single stitch is identical rather than if it would be by hand. Now, I know in the tailoring industry that you do all your pad stitching, which is the insides of a jacket and everything else. That's all done by hand. Buttonholes are done by hand. But in the industry, for most part, everything is done on a sewing machine. So, of course, it's a lot quicker and it's a lot more accurate in terms of the stitch quality, of course. So you're learning to sew, or you're learning to sew a tie, shirt, pants, three-piece suit, coat, raincoat. Now, we cover this. If you're learning how to do this, we cover this on the website. We cover every single collection. Everything that you've mentioned there, we cover, apart from a coat. But you can incorporate a coat from all of the different collections that we show. So a jacket is very much like a coat, apart from a coat is measured over the top of a suit jacket. So it's a lot larger and there's a lot more room. Mass production is not fashion. Right. Fashion is... Oh, thank you very much. You've seen the website. Yeah, fashion. What is fashion? Well, fashion is your individual style. And you see, when you learn to sew and you can make any garment that you like, then you will then create your own fashion, and your own style, and it's fantastic. It really is. When you can sew your own things, you can then create anything that you like. Anything that you see on the TV, anything that you see in magazines, you can create. The Savile Row style, well, that's your traditional, classic English style, Savile Row. Based in London. That there is, it's the pinnacle of tailoring. It really is. And of course, if you learn sewing, you will create your own style and the way of doing this. What needle sizes do you suggest for hand sewing? Well, when I was hand sewing, as I remember, the needle that I would use was quite a small needle. And the reason for that was it would then easily go through the fabrics, because some fabrics can be quite stiff to get through. And I didn't use a bobbin, the bobbin that goes on the end of your finger to push the needle through. I actually didn't do that. I didn't use that. But I've got to say, as I remember the amount of times the needle would go it would pierce the skin, and that was a little bit painful. But I would use a smaller needle. Now, that again, that is personal preference. What I would suggest you do is just use the needle that you feel most comfortable with to create. Because at the end of the day, sewing is all about a personal thing. Okay? There isn't a right way of doing it, and there isn't a wrong way of doing it. Of course, yeah, don't get me wrong, there is a right way of doing everything. But what I mean by that is, if you perfect your own style, then if somebody comes along and says, oh, you're doing that wrong. No, but in actual fact, you're not, because you are comfortable with that way of doing it. Okay, so you will create your own style. Ordered a pack of 7 sharps and a thimble. Needles here are too long. Brilliant. Like I say, if you go and you just try out all the needles, try them all out, and you will then choose one that you really love and that you will feel very comfortable in working with for all of your hand stitching. And you will. And that would then be personal to you, and that would be different to, say, how somebody else would do it. Like I say, sewing and tailoring, it's a very, very personal thing, and you will start doing it in your own way. You'll start creating in your own way. I mean, for instance, patterns. You know, you would start creating patterns in your own way, which you think are is easier for you to do, and it's all to do with practice. It really is. Last weekend, I purchased 3 packs of needles. The shortest needle is 4 centimeters. Yeah, that's very short. 4 centimeters. That's very short. That 4 centimeters. To be honest with you, do you know what? Thinking about it now, I would say, let's have a look at my ruler here. Let's get my ruler. 4 centimeters. No, I mean the needle, as I remember, this is a long time ago. I would say about 5. I think the needle I really liked was about 5 centimeters in length, and the eye of the needle I remember was very, very thin. But I'll tell you what happened to my needles as well. I would always end up bending them through use, and you just end up bending them. But yeah, mine were about 5 centimeters in length, I would say. What do you suggest for practicing hand sewing? What cloth items, like tie and handkerchief? Right, well, I find 4 centimeter needles too long, cannot push the thimble. There you go, you see that there. There you go. So you found those too long. I used about a 5 centimeter needle, and I loved that. That's what I was sewing with. It was about 5 centimeters in length, as I remember, and I really, really loved using that. Whereas you find the 4 centimeters. Hang on, let's have a look. Where I find 4 centimeter needles too long. You see, you find them too long. See, there you go. So you and I are different straight away in terms of the length of the needles that we like. And like I say, it is totally down to personal preference. Now, let's have a look. What do you suggest for practicing hand sewing? What cloth items, like a tie and handkerchief? Well, when I was stitching my suits, it was always suiting. Now, I did work with a lot of linen as well. Now, linen is that fabric which it creases. And some people don't like it because it creases very, very easily. But then that's the properties of linen. And I love linen. I think it looks fantastic. Again, I would then go with the fabrics that, again, you feel most comfortable with. Now, if you're going to be creating suits, you're going to be working with a lot of suiting cloths. So I would practice with the actual suiting cloths themselves. The actual suiting cloths that you're going to be using, I would practice with that. You know, but again, it's down to you. It's down to your total preference. What other resources, books, videos, apart from your YouTube videos, do you think would help my sewing pattern, etc., etc.? Oh, hi Marie. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the question. Well, to be honest with you, it depends if you are a visual person or if you like to read. Now, I find visually, watching videos, it's so much easier because you can then physically see what that person's doing, and you think, oh yes, yeah, that I would do it that way. So you can then physically see what that person's doing. Now, on my website, thesewingguru.com, I'll just put it on the screen. There we go. Now, of course, it's going to be in the description below. We've got a free membership at the moment, a free trial membership. Just go to the link below when this video's finished and have a look. But basically, we've got in there hundreds and hundreds of videos, and it helps beginners all the way up to professional standard how to sew. And you will find the resource invaluable. And I show you step by step of how to go from a beginner, so the beginner's course, sewing machine course, advanced lessons, so how to put a zip in, how to create a pocket, all that kind of thing, and you work your way up, and you will then be able to eventually start creating your own garments, which of course I show you the pattern construction and the step-by-step process of how to make these garments, the measuring process. And once you get the grasp and the feeling of how I show you, it's a concept that will really, really help you. So I think that watching videos, in my personal opinion, is a great way of learning to sew. And because the website works on a mobile phone or any device, you can take it with you. You can go, you can have the mobile phone stood up against your sewing machine and watch how I do it, and you can sort of go along with it. So it's a great resource, really is. I'll tell you something. If this was about when I started sewing, I would have loved it, because it would have saved me so much time. I mean, seriously, it would have saved me a huge amount of time. But of course, the internet wasn't like it is now when I started learning to sew. So yeah. But go to the site and have a look. Really have a look, Marie. It is a great resource, and it will help you. Definitely, 100%, it will help you. And no matter what stage you're at, if you're a beginner, intermediate, or high end, it will help you and give you all the tips and tricks. So have a look. Please post more video on fabrics, the type of construction and pattern making. Well, all of these videos about pattern making is within the website. So have a look there. Have a look on there. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for your time and attention. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. Well, it's very kind of you to watch my videos, and I really appreciate that, because without you guys watching my YouTube channel, I wouldn't be anything, would I? So it's also down to you as well. So thank you so much for watching me. I appreciate that. Right, I've got one here. Hi, Aaron. You all right? Welcome. My sewing machine constantly bursts the thread. Is it an issue with the tension or the thread? Right. Okay. Now, I remember that a lady said to me that my sewing machine, the thread is always snapping and it just isn't working correct. So I went to have a look, and all it was the issue that the sewing machine needle was the wrong way round. Okay. Now this is now with an industrial sewing machine. Industrial sewing machines have a needle which has got the top of the needle is round, so you can easily put the needle in the wrong way around. And of course, if it's in the wrong way around, the front of the needle, the groove on the front, is different to the groove on the back, and it can cause the thread to snap. So have a look to see if your needle is in the wrong way around. If it is in the correct way around, make sure that you are threading it the correct way. Now, the thread should sit, if you look at a sewing machine needle, right, there is a long groove on one side of the needle. Okay, that is the groove. That's where the thread needs to sit. It needs to sit in that groove, and then you thread it from that groove to the back. That is the correct way that a sewing machine is threaded. So it could be possibly that. Is it an issue with the tension? It could be. It could be that. You could also try a different thread. Try different quality threads, like Gutterman is a good quality thread. But then also as well, you've got other threads which aren't as expensive as Gutterman. I think it's Coates. So it's spelt C-O-A-T-S. Coates threads. They're not as expensive as Gutterman threads, but I still love those. And try that. But it's all it is with sewing machines, and that sort of thing. Yeah, have a look at the installation of the needle. All it is, you see, Aaron, is it's practice, and also as well, it's finding the issue. So you might change the tensions, you might change the needle around, replace the needle. Have a look to see if it actually is the needle, because needles do deteriorate over time, and it's always best to change the needles. Now also as well, instead, it might not even be the needle. You might need to oil the machine. So oil the machine near where the needle is and underneath where the bobbin race is. Now the bobbin race is where your bobbin is at the bottom. So just put a few little drops of oil, sewing machine oil, round there, and also the mechanical parts where the needle moves up and down, and where you've got, you know, parts which go in and out like that with the needle, where that is, and it's going up and down. You've got to oil those parts as well, and it lubricates the machine and makes it work so much better. And just check all these little bits and pieces. That's all I can say about that without actually seeing the sewing machine. That's all I can think of about that. So just check it. I mean, the amount of obstacles that I came across when I first started sewing is second to none. I'm sure that you guys are a lot better than what I was when I first started. I mean, the amount of mistakes I made was just unbelievable. And like I say, I wish there was a website like mine available to show me how to do it and how to go about doing it. But of course the internet wasn't available then, so it is a great resource, is the internet, for this. But good luck, Aaron, with your sewing machine. It'll be one of those things, if the needle is not, if your thread is snapping, it's going to be something like that. Have a look. I will give it a try. Keep posting the awesome video. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. You know, I'm glad that you appreciate it, and I will keep posting videos, and I will go live time to time. I just want to get a feel for what people think of me, and you know, whether I give good advice or not. You know, so this is, like I said, this is all new to me. It really is. I mean, you can see me looking here. Well, I'm looking at another monitor here with the all of the questions and answers on there. So yeah, but in the previous video, I was talking about how to go about finding a sewing machine. And then what happened is that somebody asked me a question, and I just ended the stream. And I feel really bad, because at the end of the day, it's you guys that keep this going, you know. And so I thought, right, I'm going to come back on and start asking some questions. Do you do this on a weekly basis? Well, I can do. I certainly can do. I just wanted to get a feel of it, and also as well, which day is best. I mean, which day? If you could put in the comments, which day would you say was the best for me to go live and stream? Because of course, you know, it is down to you guys when you're available. Yeah, persistence is the key. You're right, it really is. Oh, thank you very much, Marie. Yeah, thank you. Means a lot for you teaching us. Yeah, well, I do my best, and I really do love sewing. And I hope this comes across. I mean, I've been sewing for so long now, and I still love it now. It's actually one of those hobbies that never ever goes away. This passion never goes away, and I love it. And this feeling that you can get, you know, when you walk around a fabric shop. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much for watching, Aaron. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you again, because I will be streaming again. Absolutely, I will. And hopefully you can get your sewing machine sorted. I really hope so. I'm sure you will. Yeah, so what was I saying about the passion and the feeling? Yeah, it's one of those things that sewing is a hobby that you can really get into, you know. And the more that you sew, the more confident that you become. Full-length stream or record on a complete dress does interest people worldwide. Or a record on a complete dress. Yes, that's true, yeah. Thank you so much, thank you, yeah. Also, there's a lot of people streaming. Yeah, I've seen that people actually do. They do stream as... While they're creating garments, they're streaming and talking about it. Well, I've got to say I've done all of the creating of garments, which are within the website. So it's I like to just come on here and now talk, and answer any questions that you guys have got, and hopefully I can answer them and help you. I really do, because I will try my best to answer the questions that you're asking. So if there's any more questions that you've got, then I can answer them. But I will come back, and I think I'm going to start doing a weekly stream. Like I say, if you could please put up, persist, keep up, show up every day. Yeah, the website, the YouTube is on the website, so yeah, I will be doing that. I'll tell the tech guys in who do the Oh, great! I'm glad you got all the answers. But like I was saying, I'll let the guys know who create the website and everything else. They can have a look at the link for YouTube and how to do that. But I think I will do this as a regular stream. Obviously, you lovely people are finding this helpful, so that's really good. That's definitely what I'm here to do, and help you out. But the website has got a free trial on there, and it's completely free. Have a look on there, and it works on a mobile phone as well, so it works everywhere. So have a look on there, and it's free. Register for a free membership. Have a look and see what you think. And please, I urge you, if you don't see your login details sent to your inbox, always check your junk folder. This is something that I never realised to do before, was to check my junk folder, and it's something that you can very, very easily miss. But for some reason, emails always get dropped in junk folders, and it's very, very annoying for everyone, because you're like, oh, where's my login details? And you're like, where are they? But they're in your junk folder. Now, if you don't see them at all, email the site, and we'll help you. We'll help you be able to log in and everything. So have a look, register, and see what you think about the website. And like I said, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on there, and it covers everything from the beginner to the intermediate, all the way up to creating professional garments, tailoring, and there's clothing there for ladies and gents. I mean, we've even got a collection how to make pajamas. So there's everything on there, everything, But it's a great resource, and I absolutely love it. So if there is any more questions, please ask now. Otherwise, I will be stopping the stream, and I will come back again very soon. And hopefully, you guys have found this informative, and you've enjoyed it. I have, and I look forward to doing some more streaming, evening or on weekend. Right. Okay. That's good advice. Weekend evenings. Brilliant. Okay. Well, we're on here in the UK. It's nearly 7 o'clock. Is it? Yeah, it's nearly 7. Well, 6:30. And it's evening, isn't it? On the weekend. So that's great. Have a nice day. Thank you much. Appreciated. Yeah, you have a nice day also. And thank you so much for watching the stream. I really appreciate that. Good luck with all of the projects and everything that you're doing. And Savile Row is definitely something that you should look at, because they do create fantastic suits. They really do. Really, really high-end stuff. And they fit amazing. They do. The fit is incredible. But it's all to do with the cut. And the way that you fit it, and you can create that yourself by the practice and the practice that you do. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna stream off now, but thank you, Marie, for the advice for that. Yeah, I will bear that in mind, and we will stream on a weekend, on an evening, because that seems to be a good time that people come on and they ask questions. Of course, people are not at work, are they? You know, that they're at it's a weekend and they've got some time off, which is great. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll bear that in mind. Okay, thanks very much for watching and take care. Bye for now.